Adam, what do you call a three-hump camel?
I don't know, Matt. What do you?
Pregnant? Oh,
What the fuck? What? What just happened?
Hey guys, RC Anime here. With me today is Adam from Vadar
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing for that amazing joke.
and Kevin from Kevin the Ya. And today we are here. Oh, I didn't even let you speak, Kevin.
Fuck you, just go.
You're not supposed to.
I'm so inexperienced with this at this point. When was the last time we did this? Anyways, this time we'll be talking about The Boy and the Beast.
No, so does films. God damn, just go in order.
And what is The Boy and the Beast? It's an Hosoda film, so
Yeah.
I wasn't incorrect when I said The Boy and the Beast because that's what we're mainly going to focus on. But yeah, not a very good film. Hosoda's worst film, actually. Thoughts?
His worst film,
Nah.
but I enjoyed it. It has creativity to it. I don't think it's god awful or like bad.
I don't think it's
kind of, you know.
No, it's not bad.
You
I don't
can
even.
consider it bad
It's
at some
definitely. It's
points.
not. I don't think it's god awful.
I don't even think it's
Like,
bad.
what is God? No, it's bad.
Nah.
It's the first movie ever to have made me want to leave a movie theater halfway.
What did you do? What did the film do?
It was so boring. It was just really boring because
It's kind of a mess as well.
It's not just a mess. It's not even its predictability. Because I never really have a problem for something being predictable.
all
exactly.
of Hosoda's films are basically you can predict them at the end.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just the fact that it takes so many things that have been done before in adventure films that focus around our world and a sort of parallel fantasy world. And it doesn't do anything new with the features. It doesn't have to do anything new with the features as long as it's fun, but it's not even fun. It's not entertaining at all. At least I didn't really. It wants to give out too many emotions at once, and
Wait, emotions?
in the end,
What?
doesn't really.
I don't.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it was
to make
giving
you
out
feel
emotions. It was mostly
I mean,
like a slice of life.
it certainly wants to be thrilling at certain points. It wants to be sentimental at other points. It wants to be exciting. And there's this duality of family that it tries to talk about at certain points, but it never really gives that subplot enough time. It never really gives the subplot of the antagonist enough time.
No,
It
that
never
was-
really gives the
that
subplot
was
of
just
the
forced out there.
little kind of subtle romance
It
enough
has
time.
way too many ideas and things it wants to do going on, and it can't really juggle them all precisely well enough to fit all together.
Yeah. I mean, I've been going on for a long time. For some reason, you guys talk.
Kevin, your thoughts?
The whole, basically up until the tournament at the end, I thought the film was fine because it was just about how the main character and the beast he was meant to be his adopting father, but the beast was also like mad inexperienced. They were basically the same, and the child was actually more mature than the beast itself, so they were actually helping each other learn in that same way. And also I found it actually to be funny at some points, most points in the film actually. But yeah, the film did at the end introduce a subplot that was only like really hinted upon about the darkness of a human mind at the end, and then
Which is, like,
the
fucking
antagonist at the
bullshit.
end, it was just like so random. Like,
I have no idea if they're trying to like steal Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness book or something. No, but they stole the themes from Moby Dick.
I mean, Matt, it did say
God,
the book
that
itself
whale.
was right there, Moby Dick.
That whale, though, it still bugs me.
I just think it's hilarious
Why-
how they
why-
spoil Moby
by
Dick
the way,
in that movie.
why
and
did
just
he, like-
use all of its themes?
Why
in
did
the end.
Why did the guy turn into a whale? By the way,
He
Because he
didn't.
read the book.
He didn't read the
He
book.
read-
He saw the
He
title.
didn't even read. He just skimmed through.
Yeah,
it.
he saw the title Moby Dick, and it's like, I'll just throw this book away and
he
turn
read
it
the
into a
opened
one
it.
whale.
word. He said the one word,
He-
right? Whale. And that was it.
Man, nothing in that movie worked for me.
Nah,
It was a lot
don't.
of mess, really.
Just
A
I
lot of the
thought it
comedy
was.
too that you mentioned, Kevin, liking or laughing at. I actually found most of the comedy for me to kind of fall flat or just be too like, oh, let's make it for little kids who are like, they don't understand much, so we should make comedy for them that's like stupid, yeah.
It is for kids though. What?
But that's not an excuse because I've seen comedy done for kids that is actually really good comedy. It doesn't treat the kids like kids, it treats them like adults, it treats them like smart individuals, and even adults can watch that and laugh. This wasn't really that movie. This movie felt more like to me like the Cars 2 of anime, sort of.
I don't know what car. I haven't seen Cars 2. Don't think I
Okay,
should.
a good example for an animated film for children that's really funny and its comedy can really target anyone is Zootopia, if you guys have seen that.
Not yet.
Nope.
Have neither of you seen Zootopia? Go watch
I
Zootopia. Why
know.
did you spend your time watching The Boy and the Beast? Oh, I want to talk about Zootopia right now.
Next time.
Podcast.
Don't
Okay.
worry. Next time.
Okay, so in The Boy and the Beast, the thing is that, yes, the film wants to be for children, but that doesn't mean that you have to
Speak down to them.
assume that children can't comprehend things that have multiple layers. Or it's not even that, really. It's just, there are films like How to Train Your Dragon that doesn't really have multiple layers, but things just work really well. It's really balanced.
They
in
don't
its
speak
pacing and
down
its
to their
characters.
audience. They treat them like,
I
hey,
don't.
these
I don't
are
want
just
to.
people.
I don't want to say that The Boy and the Beast speaks down.
It's
to
not like
anyone.
that. I
just
feel
feel
like
that
it's just
lazy.
using, lazy. It's using way too easy, like the easy thing. Like, oh, this is what kids like, right? Let's just put this in, like that kind of thing.
It's like they're using kind of the same. They're trying to. They could have been trying to go for some Looney Tunes or old Disney, that kind of effect. Maybe I'm not sure, but
Maybe
it didn't
not
work
Looney
very.
Tunes,
It
but
felt so odd because Hosoda's touch in it is really obvious, but it feels so unambitious in comparison to his other works. I mean, I don't expect Hosoda to be constantly good every time because that's just not fair at all.
To anyone, actually. Any director.
Yeah, it's not fair to expect any director or any creator to be consistent. It's just, I think this was one of his weaker films. I mean, even the greatest directors
Nah, it is
have
his weaker
very
film.
weak films. So it's just one of those moments where it doesn't really work out in the end. So
I will say that there are
yeah.
some good points to it, which is that I still think the creativity is very nice to see, at the very least. It's always good to see creativity in films.
I
And
didn't really think it was creative.
it
I
had
mean,
some creativity,
go
like
ahead.
at least in the in some of the visuals and stuff, and it looked beautiful. The film.
Some of it. There was also a lot of use of CGI, which
Yeah,
at certain points didn't really. I don't
Nah,
like
that's
to
mostly-
complain about CGI,
Mostly
but
that's
it just
unnoticeable.
looked odd at
It was only
many
at
scenes.
they only
I
used it for
actually didn't really
backgrounds. They didn't
notice
use
it
any
this time.
for like the main. Yeah, no, they only used it for mostly backgrounds or like CGI people. They didn't actually use it for its main appeal. Most of that was just animation.
And I personally like the music. I know, Matt, you didn't really care for it.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't notice the music. Only at the fight though.
I kind of like it.
The only Hosoda film where the music really stands out to me is Wolf Children. I think
Yeah.
that soundtrack is
Yep.
amazing. Same composer with The Boy and the Beast, actually.
What I think he could have done to make the film more concise is to get rid of a lot of the stuff he did. I don't think he ever needs to return to the real world, honestly. I would have liked
No,
to
I think it was
just-
important for him to return to the real world.
I don't know.
The thing is that the film wanted to. I think the film wanted to talk about humanity and the duality of kind of the goodness in humans and the dark sides to humans. It's like some Star Wars thing or something.
Some Star Wars.
And
No, I get what you're saying. It's because in the beast world, they always look down on humans, saying like they'll destroy the world or something. And
yeah.
the main character, I keep on forgetting his name. The main character wants to go back to the human world, not to like be for evil intention or anything. He actually wants to learn about their world, or about his world. Sorry, and they're afraid that he'll become evil, or the darkness will take over him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just felt that the darkness within humans is really weird too, because I understand it's a fantasy film, but in its history, if all humans had this darkness inside them, wouldn't everyone in the human world be aware of it? Because you know how obvious they all were.
Yeah.
Like these guys that got telekinesis from it, and they're
Well,
just
no.
flipping
What I
swords and
think
shit.
I think you have to go to
Turning
the
into
beast world
whales?
first.
Yeah, I think
No,
I think it's
it's
only awakened if you go there first. But yeah, that's kind of really unclear and like a kind of a plot hole.
No, like yeah, the first glimpse of it we get was him in the streets and walking past like a reflection
Yeah.
of the darkness.
didn't deal with
that,
the beast,
That
did
didn't
he?
make sense. What was that?
He
Guys,
didn't. He was not in the beast world at
Yeah.
all. Yeah. So, technically,
why did
if that was the case, every human should be aware that these cases have happened before, unless, maybe Hitler or something,
Why?
Mussolini.
what is happening?
Why, Matt? What are you doing?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. The movie doesn't make any sense. It wasn't fun. I didn't like it, guys.
It's
I
fine.
enjoyed it somewhat. I still
Yeah.
thought it was like, it's nice. I don't
Also-
think it was worth paying $15 to see, but
Yeah, you paid $15. Wow. I only paid like
Now
10.
we paid $16.
Oh,
actually.
16.
Why?
Okay.
I only paid like 10 AUD.
Because we went to early preview.
Oh, that's why.
And we were hoping that Hosoda was going to be there himself, but...
And he
he
wasn't.
didn't.
Rest in peace.
Oh, Adam, remember in the movie theater, the people sitting in front of us, they were complaining about how the child sitting next to them wasn't understanding the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Adam, what was all that about?
No, because during the movie, the girl kept on
But
asking
how
her
old was
mom
she
what
though
was
around?
going on.
Like
and,
was she like really
I'd
young?
assume
she
8,
looked like
under
10 or
10.
less.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
under
That's
10
a bit
definitely.
that's a bit worrying. Oh, it is
No, but
America
when the
though.
movie started, and the Hosoda studio logo appeared, and it's the girl who leapt through times, that silhouette that everyone recognizes. The little girl just went, "Oh, the girl who leapt through time," and it's like, oh my god.
Actually, I think the reason why that little girl couldn't follow it so easily is because it was such a mess of a film. And
It was.
And
Oh,
she
but
said that,
you've
like,
watched
oh,
the-
the girl who
you
looked through
also
time. She probably got that film like easily on either the first or second try, which just goes to show that this film does have the problems in its narrative.
I'm pretty sure
And
you
that's
also
not
watched the
just
subbed
really
as well,
opinion-based.
because some people just don't pay attention to the subs, believe it or not. I watched mine dubbed. I actually didn't know it was dubbed in my theater when it played, because every other anime film I watched in theaters was always sub, so I just assumed it was sub.
Wait, so what was the dub like?
And then they just started talking English. I was really confused for a second. It was like, is this actual English or the dub? The dub's fine. It's just the supporting characters have really like high pitched squealy voices, which can get really annoying. You know, like the rival's son, the pig. Yeah, his voice was really hard to deal with. But the main two were fine. I could listen to it fine.
Oh, Matt, you remember what else that the two people sitting in front of us said? At the end, they were like, I can't believe they brought a kid to this movie. This is not a movie for kids.
Oh yeah, they did say that.
What?
And I saw people bring their kids into Deadpool.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
I don't know what they're talking about.
What? How is it not a movie
God.
for kids? I don't understand anymore.
It's rated G, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is America?
Wait, wasn't there blood? If there was blood, it might be PG.
No, there was blood because he got stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. I
don't know
swear
if we
it
could
was
get
rated
G with that.
but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Oh, another
don't
thing
know.
I wanted to actually mention that I was, in retrospect, very disappointed about. You remember when they were going to go look out for, like, the 4 sages? And it was like, oh, we're going to get to see more of the world and some of the different environments. It's going to be cool and awesome. Nah, it's just a 2-minute segment where literally nothing funny or interesting happens at all.
Not 2-minute
No,
montage.
it's like a Kung Fu
Yep.
Panda montage, only not even with the comedy of Kung Fu Panda.
And even Kung Fu Panda at least has nice like environments. They do it very well with their animation.
I don't think Kung Fu Panda's environments are that good. I think it's just the
I guess, yeah.
charisma
Jack
of
Black.
But at least
Jack
there's like,
Black.
something there instead of just grassy plains that they're walking on a road.
Yeah, I understand. I
So
understand what you're going at. No, yeah, The Boy and the Beast just felt very uninspired, but I'm not gonna go use that
no,
against
of course
Hosoda. I
not.
still think he's made some really great films, and I hope to look forward to more films. by
Apparently, he's
him.
already
I
working on
mean,
another one.
in the
He's already,
beginning,
yeah.
he is working on another one because at the theater, the lady just came out and said, Hosoda-san couldn't be out tonight because he's working on his next film, and everyone's like, ooh.
No, that's not the reason why he couldn't come though. He just didn't care.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
he wrote a letter and Adam,
I was just like,
what did you say?
you know what, Matt? I bet he totally just like Google searched a letter to like send to this place.
But yeah, I think I've went on way too much about this movie
Fine,
already.
move on.
I feel like I've done all the talking. You guys can.
No,
move
what I
on to
want to
some-
know though, before we move along,
Okay.
is why,
Go on.
Kevin, you feel that this movie is better than Summer Wars.
See, that's why we're talking about Summer Wars now. When you say uninspired, literally, this, you know how I feel about Summer Wars, but I don't think it's a bad film. I just don't like it, but I just think it's mediocre. But Summer Wars is literally the Digimon film, but except less fun. The Digimon film is actually fun because it's Digimon. You get to see them fight, have like epic battles. But Summer Wars is literally just a carbon copy, and people say it's about family, but the only aspect about family it's having like those giant family gatherings that you have, and then maybe liking some of the people there, and then also getting annoyed by the obnoxious children. But some of his plot line literally is just the Digimon film, but just less fun, and that's why I think The Boy and Beast is just slightly better, or I like it anyway, slightly better than Summer Wars.
I see where you're coming from. Summer Wars is definitely not original in its narrative, and I think its family aspects are one of the weaker parts of it. But I think Summer Wars just has this energy that I really liked, and I thought it was
It's-
a lot of fun to watch. It just it felt alive. I guess that's the best way I can put it. It's not a very good film. I can understand where you're coming from completely. It's just I felt that more, not exactly originality, but more passion. Like Hosoda was having fun with what he was doing in this film, in Summer Wars, more than he did with The Boy and the Beast. For me, the thing is that when I went into The Boy and the Beast, I wasn't very excited for it because I wasn't very interested in the storyline. But it was Hosoda, so I went to watch it, and I was hoping for a fun movie, Summer Wars kind of tier fun, and it just opens up with this narration that explains everything
good
that's
music.
happening. And I think I don't like the music. I felt that I don't like I don't mind music being adventurous, and I don't mind music being loud, but if it lacks a melody or a character, maybe it just did so for me, but I just felt that the music wasn't really kind of directing our emotions at anything. It just kind of immediately began
You're right.
just like that
You're
loud
right.
fire, and you get these symbols and people are just like narrating, and they're kind of trying to do this Ratatouille attitude, and it's like, oh, this story, he's really good at telling it, and it's like, but Ratatouille did it so much better.
Yeah, Ratatouille was so good in that. No, yeah, they should have just started when he was on the streets instead of having that giant fire opening or exposition.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
completely unnecessary
this
because
movie
from the dialogue
was
that we
like
get after, we can understand what's
Not
going on.
the greatest with subtlety.
Adam, Adam knows how disappointed I was when I walked out of the theater. I was just moping around the streets
He
of New
almost
York.
walked into a bus. I had to save him. He was like, "No, let me perish, please."
Because I remember I was really, really, not depressed, but just really let down.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I just like looked up at the city lights, and it was just really melancholic all of a sudden. I just began listening. I just began hearing the Kekai Sensen soundtrack in my head. It's just like,
Now Matt
it's just
began
sadness
daydreaming. He was like,
everywhere.
if only a whale could just come crashing through the city and destroy it all. No.
Oh, no.
I'm not that bad. No.
There was one thing that Kevin mentioned that I wanted to comment on. About you mentioned that you one of the reasons why you don't like Summer Wars is because it was like the Digimon movie that he directed, except less fun.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. I also rewatched the Digimon movie recently, so I can actually comment on how I feel about that compared to Summer Wars, since I remember very well. What both were like, Digimon movie, it's actually, really fun, but I actually thought Summer Wars was better than the Digimon movie. Like, it just was more interesting to me. I
Interesting how 'cause
enjoyed a lot
it's
of the
the same.
characters.
It's the same storyline.
It's
A
true.
virus takes
It's
over the internet.
the presentation was more engaging for me. A lot more going into it. And to be fair, it is a lot longer, so it had a lot more to do. But just the whole design,
Yeah, the Digimon movie was really
Yeah.
rushed. Hosoda's
the
segment
design of
did,
the
at
thing,
least.
the Summer Wars, the visuals, all that. It's still like when I pop it into the PS4 or whatnot to play the Blu-ray, it looks just so. I can't, like, especially the parts that take place in Oz. They look so beautiful, but the creativity and imagery behind it just make me love it so much more than the Digimon movie personally. And even though Matt said the family elements are a little weak and kinda they're all reduced to sort of stereotypes, I kind of like it. I had fun with that whole thing. I like the whole huge big family thing they had there. God's flaws, yeah, but I enjoyed it more than The Boy and the Beast. I think it's a better movie overall. Technically, it just has more conciseness to it. It's not like a total mess like Boy and the Beast feels, and it's, as Matt said, has a passion and stuff to it that I feel is sort of lacking in The Boy and the Beast. It's kind of like it's sort of there at times in The Boy and the Beast, but it feels like it's all like it's hard. It can't quite break through, and there's just this thing separating it a distance. It's like I don't know how to explain it properly, but it just felt like his mind was like not focused entirely on it. It was like in too many different places, and he didn't have a concise vision for it, and therefore the passion doesn't quite come through. You can see glimpses here and there, but it's like it didn't quite make it there.
It's like Hosoda didn't. I see what you're saying. It's like basically Hosoda didn't follow his own saying, where you make a simple story that the audience can relate to. Where in what's it called, Boy and the Beast, he had a lot of ideas, well, simple ideas, but they were just mixed in a bit jumbled up. But I mean, in some Wars is a very safe film. Like that's not much wrong you can go with just having a virus take over the internet and then just stopping that, or having the power of family or friendship stopping that, in respective of the Digimon film. But the Digimon film, it actually had the tension in the atmosphere. Actually, I think had more than Summer Wars, where in Digimon they're going around frantically trying to get people to stop this virus. Well, in Summer Wars they do the same, but it's only within their family. Where Digimon film was basically the whole world. It mattered to them. And Summer Wars, I just it's too similar to the Digimon film because I watched it before. Wait, Adam, I'm going to ask you that. Which one did you watch first? The Digimon film or Summer Wars first?
Digimon movie, because
I think everyone saw it. I think everyone saw the Digimon movie first in our generation.
I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of nostalgia. That's why I like it more. Because Summer Wars, it
could be that. I mean,
literally the same.
I mean,
like
hey.
almost like all the scenes are exactly the same. You got the part where
there are a
the
lot.
Telephone. They ring
Some
the telephone.
Of the lines,
everyone's
some
there.
of the lines are even the same. Like when he transforms for the first time, and one of them's like, he got bigger. Same line in Digimon, where he digivolves and he's like, he got bigger, or something like that.
When they also when they lose the first fight, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Hosoda doesn't cannibalize on his own work. I don't necessarily think it's wrong to do that, but I understand where you're coming from. I just personally enjoyed Summer Wars a lot more than, say, The Boy and the Beast, and I liked it more than the Digimon movie. More maybe just because Summer Wars was given a lot more time to develop in terms of the length of it. And I don't know. There's this one scene in Summer Wars at the end when they're playing the Hanafuda
Koi
game,
Koi.
and Hanafuda, and everyone in the world just suddenly appears and kind of bids in their characters along. And that moment, just something about that moment just feels very sentimental, and I see that in almost most of Hosoda's films. I think in all of Wolf Children is essentially that
You mean the
kind
sentiment
of consistent
Wolf
emotion.
Children had a lot though, like throughout the film. It wasn't just one.
Let's dedicate
It was
another
Wolf
section
Children's
for Wolf
intention.
Children, because I want to talk about Wolf Children
Yeah,
too,
obviously.
actually, more in depth.
Matt, that moment you're talking about happened in the Digimon
No,
film
yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Where everyone came in.
I'm not saying it doesn't
Literally,
happen.
it's the same
I know
one.
it fucking happens.
Actually, it's
I
like
know every single-
I think it has the same impact both in the Digimon film and the Summer Wars. For me, it like had sort of the same emotional impact. I get kind of like I feel the emotion during that part. It's pretty well done.
I mean, to be fair and to be honest, I've always been more of a Pokemon
You
person than
motherfucker.
I've been a Digimon
no, Pokemon's
person.
great,
so that
though.
could just be me.
It is, but the Digimon the show is like actually better written than the Pokemon show.
But Pokemon
Uh,
Heroes.
No,
we need
that's
an
that's
episode
later
on
Pokemon.
Pokemon
No,
movies.
no, let's not talk about later.
Yeah,
That's a different
later
one.
episode. We're doing
Later, yeah. Next episode or something, because
Yeah.
we don't really watch anime, to be honest. We've only seen The Boy and the Beast in the past month. That's why we're talking
Well, that's not
Hey,
the only
about
thing we've
it.
seen in the past month, actually.
Well, that's the only anime I've seen.
Oh. Yeah, essentially it's like really like the only anime, but
You want to move on to his next film? Not his best one. Not his next.
What
Not his
about
best one.
The Girl Who Loves
The
Through
g-
Time?
Yeah, go through the girl through up the time. We'll leave his best film for last.
okay. I haven't seen The Girl Who Left Through Time in 2 years, but
fine, don't
I
worry
do
about it.
remember it being
It's
really
it still
good.
holds up really well. I find that for people who have seen, usually I find something interesting with The Girl Who Left Through Time and Summer Wars is that people I've talked to, if they watch The Girl Who Left Through Time first, they like it better than Summer Wars. But if they've seen Summer Wars first, they like Summer Wars better than The Girl Who Left Through Time. I found that to be the case with everyone I talk to anyway. It's an interesting thing.
I don't talk to people about anime in real life, unfortunately. Or intentionally.
No, I think The Girl Who Left Through Time is. It's still a simple idea, but it's executed in a very concise and clear way, and like as a clear theme what it's trying to go for, which is time is fleeing. Like that's obviously the main idea. If it's even written down, but I think its message was very well executed. And do you guys
waits
think
for
there's
no
anything
man.
wrong with The Girl Who Left Through Time? Anything could have done better?
It has some,
I think the ending was very
flaws and
was out of
issues.
nowhere.
You mean the
twist?
romance, or the time travel?
Not the romance. No, just a twist on the time traveler.
Where
who the real time traveler was, where she got the power from.
He's saying
the
the
ability-
whole
the
revelation at
ability
the
from-
end about everything, like where the little time nut thing came from, who was a time traveler, all the stuff. It was a little rushed in that scene.
I thought it was a bit abrupt. Not much build up to
yeah,
it.
I guess.
Not really any hints that lead up to it. That could be me nitpicking.
No, I get it.
I thought that somewhat devalued my experience with it, but either way, I still think The Girl Who Left Through
It's
Time is
got
a
a
really good
lot
story.
of, like-
The protagonist is a really
those
good
who
character.
love
I
time
think really
travel,
fun.
you'd like it. Just don't like look too far into the time travel, because the time travel aspect of the show has so many goddamn plot holes. Like not plot holes, but holes in how it works.
And I think anything that deals
Yeah,
with time travel
like
has
I've
plot
seen a lot
holes.
though. This one has quite a bit in how
Wait,
it works with time travel.
what was the plot holes?
Are you
Let's
seriously
go,
gonna
Adam.
try to
No, no, no,
What was
no.
the plot hole?
I won't.
talk
I
about
won't. I won't get
relativity
into
or
it if you
something?
want me to.
No,
No, do it,
I'm
do it.
curious.
Just
What
do
was
it.
the
You and
plot holes
Kevin.
in Go Love Time? Is in its time travel?
Yeah,
'Cause
not plot holes, just the holes in how the time travel works, sort of.
Oh, how it worked. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
not plot. I didn't mean plot. I meant just the time travel. The way it works is a little wonky, especially when we get the whole thing at the end. What it does at the end doesn't really make sense when you
Because
think
he
about
uses
it.
the balls, right, to go back in time.
Yeah, and it's like it resets her thing, which doesn't make
And then-
any sense.
But then she resets it back.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's what?
Like every time, like you know how there was a number, like how many times she could go back in time. Technically, if you go back
Yeah.
in time, you wouldn't use that number. Exactly.
You wouldn't have
But
used
it makes no sense.
Or well, no, that's not true because if you're traveling back with that object,
No, but that's what happened
Wouldn't
at
Okay,
the
no,
end
no, no.
though.
be-
The thing
'Cause
is, Matt,
she only had one left, and she went back
used
and she
it.
got another one. That's
yeah,
what happened
she
at
used
the
it
end.
up. She had 0.
then she should have never
Exactly.
run out.
It doesn't make sense when you think about it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter though, because the film.
That one could have solved
film
been really
is-
easy. Could have solved really easily though. Like
Yeah.
you just increase it by one, and then it's like it's fine. She just goes to
Whatever,
0.
but-
The last one she uses.
The thing that it doesn't even matter in the end about the whole holes in the time travel, because the film's not even about that. It's using the time travel mechanism as a way to facilitate character growth and development and show us these characters and how they interact. Mainly the main one, but yeah,
Yeah, that's what's
that's what
important
he
about
that's
the
what he
film.
cares more about. He's more about the human emotions and interactions and his stuff, and he uses everything around it to facilitate that.
Hey Adam, he's just like Christopher Nolan with Interstellar.
No.
What? Who said that? What? Please.
Make him stay, Murph. Make him stay.
Don't let him leave, Murph.
Don't leave. It says stay.
I'm sorry. I respect you, but I must leave you here.
We're not gonna make it.
Yes, we are. No, we're gonna make it add Interstellar music here, by the way. Oh no. Okay, we better.
No TARS.
Matt Damon.
He was the best character, honestly.
Love, Murph, love. We can.
Our love. It is
We should,
quantifiable.
We should move
Why
on
we-
quickly.
Okay, so
Matt
moving
Damon, you
moving
tear
on-
me apart.
moving
sorry.
on to
his- yep.
Wolf Children.
I suppose so.
Yep.
His masterpiece, or so far his magnum opus.
Amazing,
Brilliant
love it.
film. Probably one of the best films I've seen that follows not even just an anime. Generally, one of the best films I've seen that follows a span of several years.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't
'Cause
even
that's really hard
Especially
to
in
do.
a
It's
film.
really hard
by the
to-
way.
Go through.
yeah.
Because you have to focus. You have to try and figure out how
You have to give
a
each
specific
time
character's
period
personality
the right
grows
amount
throughout the years.
of
And
development too.
well, you say what you said.
Who's
Wait,
going?
Go ahead.
Oh.
What?
What you said, and you just gotta give each time period the right amount of screen time and development. That's basically it. That's what
All
I
right.
said.
Yeah, it's really hard to balance out what years are more important than other years. Otherwise, you're just gonna have Boyhood, and in the end, have one of your characters say, "I thought there was more."
What? Is that a Boyhood?
No,
Literally, that's what happens at the end of Boyhood.
She
Yeah.
said, I thought there would be more.
Oh, I thought there would be more. Yeah.
I love that quote.
She just goes crying. It's like, I thought there would be more. Like, that's exactly how I feel about this movie.
Oh no. But Wolf Children. Okay, I'll just start the character dynamic with Ame and Yuki. You know how, Ame literally wanted to be human when he was really young, how he was scared about being an outcast. But then we can later see that he grew up to be the opposite of exactly what he wanted when he was a kid, showing that he wanted to embrace his wolf side. And Yuki basically did the exact opposite. She was playful, ecstatic, and she basically didn't care about what she looked like until she reached high school, and then she wanted to become more human. And I think that dynamic was really clever with Soda.
I'd say there are just a couple points. It's like this is nitpicky, very nitpicky.
Yeah, you can
But for
pick any
me,
film though.
there was a couple. There's like I think three. I can't remember what the other two are, but every time I watch it, there's usually three, and I only ever remember the one at the end. But there are these three specific points where I feel like the film could be more subtle and just not do something, but it like feels like it has to like go a little farther to make sure the audience understands what it's trying to say, and like a piece of dialogue here and there, and that usually bugs me because there's like one point at the end of the film that always bugs me because I feel like it would have been so much better if she would just stayed silent during
Don't
that scene.
spoil it.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Wait,
in
which
general
scene is
terms.
this?
Silent, but then
The
you can cut. We can cut this
and
part
the end
out.
of the climax. The end of the climax.
Okay, you can keep it. Yeah. She says something that's essentially driving point, like home the point that he's trying to make, very literally, like tell instead of show, and that always tends to bug me. And I feel like if it was just like no dialogue, just silence and just facial expressions, that would have been great. I would have loved it. And that always kind of like bugs me when I watch the ending. It just gets to me personally, but by no means detracts from the film as a whole. It's still an amazing film. That's like probably the only thing I can say that's bad about that. The only like sort of negative I could find with the whole film, just those like little things.
Yeah, the thing is that you can find that with any film.
Yeah,
So, nothing is perfect, but I think yeah. What I really like about Wolf Children is just that how it has the ability to tell something on such a sentimental level while not really ever staying too long on any particular moment. It's kind of a summary of three lives at once
Yeah, about this
as
family.
they grow, and it still successfully makes us care for each individual character in hour and a half and 2 hours, and that's very hard to do. So I respect that film for succeeding to such a degree.
it's very heart wrenching too.
And also, if you think about it, who doesn't like Wolf Children? Because, Kevin, you know how we have that
Yeah.
spreadsheet of all the anime reviewers and all
Yeah.
their favorite anime? Almost everyone
Well,
has
almost
Wolf
everyone who's
Children
seen
on
it, I'm
their
pretty sure.
top list.
I don't think
Yeah.
a person who actually can actually say like Wolf Children is a bad film. Like I don't see how that's
There's a
No.
person out there for everything that could say
They're
that.
just wrong.
like having a logical opinion. No, having a logical opinion or opinion that's understandable of saying Wolf Children is a bad film because I personally don't see it. Matt, you know that moment when it turns winter and then they just play that soundtrack.
Oh, the best.
Yeah,
the best
that goes
scene
for like
in
a
the
whole
film,
like 5
in the
minutes.
snow.
That montage, that was great.
Yeah. There's just so many good moments in there.
Oh, the whole part in the beginning where they're getting to know each other. I just found it funny because he does it
You
so
mean the
well
Wolfman
here,
or
and then I felt like
the whole part in the
What?
beginning?
yeah, at the very beginning where they get to the two get to know each other. He does it so well in Wolf Children, and it's such a small space of time, and I find it funny that he for some reason decides to try to do that again in The Boy and the Beast because he does. It's like a complete copy of what he did there and there. I didn't have more to say on that after that.
I was
Okay, we were
Yep.
just waiting for the punchline, man.
I really didn't have anything else more. I was just it's I don't know. I don't know why he decided to do it again. And I thought that part of the Boy and the Beast was kind of nice, but it just at times felt like a little too long and maybe extraneous. But I am just wondering why he decided to do it again. I don't know.
Man, the girl, the female character, she's cute, but she felt like an
Sh
empty Hanakawa.
I can see
Do you,
that.
do you get what I mean, Adam?
Yeah, I get that.
That's what I felt. I felt like she was kind of like trying to be modeled by Hanakawa, only not having any of the same level or even close. Not even like not at all. Even a mile close to the layers of depth to Hanakawa's character in Monogatari. But Kevin hasn't seen Monogatari because he's a terrible
No,
human
I'm
being
fine.
in Australia.
I'm not Australian though. I'll just live in Australia. Are we done with
Kevin,
anime?
go watch Monogatari.
Is this it? Besides, go watch Wolf Children if you haven't seen it. Not really.
Go watch all Hosoda films.
Yeah.
Like even The Boy and the Beast, even though we say it's his weakest and stuff, I still think it's
All
worth
of-
a
all of
watch.
his films are
Maybe
worth
not
a
if you
watch.
pay like $16 to go see it, but
No,
they're all worth a
yeah.
watch.
Even with how much I dislike the film, I think everyone should just watch all of Hosoda's films. Maybe even the One Piece movie he made.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
remember he made that.
Yeah, he made a One Piece movie.
You know, he actually did one whole episode in Digimon, the first season that he directed, and it's like the best
Oh my
episode
god!
in the
Of course
entire
it was.
show.
Which does? Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember what episode that was, Adam? Because I've seen the first Digimon season.
Yeah, I do. It's when he. Yeah, I'm rewatching Digimon right now, and I remember I saw that episode, and it's when he goes back to the real world for the first time, and it's suddenly in Hosoda style, and it's just like the whole thing just suddenly becomes way better. It's like there's actual cinematography now, there's actual directing, there's actually like somehow the script gets better too, like everything.
That one moment.
The animation got better just for that one episode.
So overall, Soda's pretty good director. You could watch him.
And now, to completely switch gears, we are going to talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Because we love movies.
Because we don't watch anime, guys. So that was the anime podcast.
I guess Adam and I can talk about Kizu Monogatari
No.
if Adam even wants.
We could just say something really briefly on it, I guess.
Okay, Kizu Monogatari Part 1 is brilliant.
It's amazing.
Its visual directing is genius. The
There's
strongest
literally
it's
no
ever been
negative
since
sides to
Bake.
this movie. Like, I can't think...
There's here and there are, but
Really?
as an adaptation to the book, the light novel that I read, it does a really good job in intensifying a lot of the moments written down. Because when I read the light novel, I don't want to say the light novel was weak or not well written. It didn't have the same atmosphere that I normally get from watching the anime, and it just makes me appreciate the anime a lot more. I'm not saying that Nisio Isin's a bad writer at all. I just think that to get the full experience with Monogatari, you need to add the visuals and you need to add the sound. And Kizu is just a really, really intense blend of everything, especially the opening sequence, which has been one of the best opening sequences to a film that I've seen in a while, in theaters at least.
I was like... I don't even know how to... It just so visceral and like gripping and on the edge of my seat the entire time, and also had some of the funniest like things in any of the series. When it has the humor, it's top notch. Everything's, and then the visual. Who was the guy you said who directed Baki Monogatari Returned?
Oh, I can't remember his name right now.
Um,
But it's not Akiyuki Shimbo.
No, yeah.
Akiyuki Shimbo has been the chief director for all of Monogatari so far, but as one can say, Shinbo doesn't really have much of a touch, really. It's more of the Shaft staff itself that gives all the shows from Shaft its quality normally. And the reason why Bake Monogatari and Kizu Monogatari have the best visual directing as opposed to all the other seasons, not saying that the other seasons are worse in any way. It's just that the visual directing itself, the how everything is composed and how everything is framed visually, is in Baki and Kizu just noticeably a lot better, a lot more creative, a lot. There's a lot more thought put into where each character is framed
A lot more
and how the background
variety
looks.
and
Yeah,
just passion and just like beauty.
yeah, that's someone else that whose
Yeah,
name I
you should
can't remember right now.
look it up later. Maybe put it on the screen and in the description or something.
Yeah, yeah. But Kizu Monogatari Part One is great. Part Two,
It's a 3-part film, yeah.
I can't wait for Part Two.
Yep.
And I can't wait for part 3, but having read the book, I am going to assume that part 2 is not going to be as good. But
No, I have
I can
total
be
faith.
completely wrong. I
I
can
have
be
total faith.
yeah.
I like you said there were things here and there with the first one. I still can't think of anything negative about this
There's that
first
one scene when he just froze her body. I was like, I completely understand why they added that there. I completely know what they were intending on doing. Even so, it just like they wanted it to feel crazy and awkward, and it did feel crazy and awkward. It just feels crazy and awkward. It's just yeah, overall it's a great film.
I would pay to see it again. I would. I loved it. God, I can't. We gotta stop because I'm just gonna. I can't. It was too great. I loved it. We gotta move on. I gotta stop thinking about it. 10 Cloverfield Lane. New movie.
Yeah,
Produced
10
by J.J.
Cloverfield Lane.
Abrams.
Not a sequel to Cloverfield at all, but still not a bad movie.
Sort of connected
no,
to Cloverfield
no, it's not.
in the way that it has and the name
There,
and the
there's-
title.
there are
and
no
that's about it.
connections.
No, this proves that it's going to be Abrams's new anthology series, essentially, where a movie will have the name Cloverfield slapped on it. It'll sell better that way, and it'll have Cloverfield, the name, somewhere in the movie, probably, and that's about it, all it'll be. And it'll just be an anthology of films like that, sort of like The Twilight Zone, which Abrams has always wanted to do, so. And I think that's a cool idea. And the film itself, 10 Cloverfield Lane, is actually really good. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I wouldn't call it amazing or anything, but it's pretty enjoyable. It was actually, I'm glad it was made. It's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's a new director, his debut film, and yeah, there's a bunch of interesting choices in the movie. That certainly adds tension to a lot of the scenes. And
John Goodman acting
boy,
in that. He's such a seedy and creepy guy. And for good reason, by the way.
yeah,
You know what? If this film like came out last year, I bet he'd be nominated for supporting or something like that.
I mean, the girl wasn't even the main character. She said like 6 lines.
Now she is the main character, though.
Yeah, but she only said like 6 lines.
no, but as you can, there's not much dialogue.
You don't
No.
really need dialogue
To
actually
film.
to make a
Yeah,
good film, and I actually really appreciate that. I like the film's use of like no dialogue, how he uses that. It's especially in the beginning.
well, there is a bunch of dialogue. And,
Yeah, yeah.
But
But like it uses the dialogue when it uses it well, and when it doesn't use it, it uses the silence well. It knows when to do it and when to not do it, and it also has a lot of like funny moments too, which is nice.
Now,
It's a fun
what I
film.
noticed is
Yeah.
during like the basically non-harmful moments, the music would get really tense. Like when they're playing that card game where you have to guess the name of the card. You know that moment where John Goodman.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
Oh,
played that
I
game,
can say what it
actually. I
is.
think it's called
The word was
Taboo.
Santa Claus, and he kept saying, I'm
like I'm
I know
watching
when-
you.
I-
Like
Yeah.
he's repeating
yeah,
that Santa Claus.
I'm watching
song.
you. I know
That
when you
was
sleep.
amazing.
It's like that's a bit, and you thought he was actually saying because they were trying to get out, but they thought he was
Yeah.
onto them, but he was just actually playing the card game.
That was a great segment. I love that part.
The part where at the end And
Are we
when you know like that, when you know, I'm not gonna spoil it, but when
Okay.
the moment where the gears of the film just goes 180 and the main character, she just says fuck. That's what everyone in the theater is just thinking, like, oh fuck, really?
when
I'm
when
so
the
happy
thing
they
came
did
out.
that. You have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just like, okay, this is where they're going. Which it felt, I don't, it was okay. Normally I wouldn't really like that, but how
It
the
kind of
film took it,
worked.
it just went with it.
And
You
they
know,
actually kind of set it up earlier in a clever like way.
yeah. I mean, the film was being so confident on it that it didn't feel doubtful. So yeah, that's
And it really
all I can
helps to
really
kind
ask
of like
for.
sell the Cloverfield vibe. Like even though it has nothing to do with the original movie, there's kind of
Yeah.
something there, especially thanks to the ending, that kind of just like makes it feel like yeah, it kind of deserves the name Cloverfield, and also makes me think that we'll be getting more movies like this, which I'm excited for.
But yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane, a fun film to watch, definitely.
I'd check it out. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, another great film
I wouldn't
that,
say great,
or
great.
should we
Wait,
stop?
what do you mean?
Well, what film are you going to
Oh,
mention?
I
oh,
was gonna say Room.
right.
I was
What?
gonna say Room. Room is a great film. It should have won Best
Yeah.
Picture for the Oscars, but the Oscars don't really mean anything, so there's no point in
We
talking.
all agree on this.
For
I think that's probably
best
all we need
picture,
to
or
say. It's
no,
kind of
there
like
was three
old by
nominations
now.
for best picture, or three
The Martian
possibilities.
should have won.
Yeah, The Martian, definitely. The Martian, Bridge of Spies.
Why didn't it win for Best Comedy, man?
Oh my god, Inside Out, please.
What about Inside Out?
Watched it recently, and yeah,
Oh.
it was. I liked it a lot. For
Really?
I'm not that big on that one,
I'm on the
honestly.
middle. I think Inside Out has some very good moments, but I wouldn't consider it to be one of Pixar's stronger films.
Same.
well,
Definitely the best animated feature that I saw last year.
For me, that's the Peanuts movie still, but yeah.
I just think Inside Out had so many clever ideas and a really good message to children. That
No, yeah, definitely.
It
There was a
did.
lot of
I
creativity
felt
in
like
Inside Out.
yeah. I felt like it could have had more. Sort of, like a lot of it's creative that people are like, ah, this is so imaginative, creative. I felt like a lot of it, sort of, I saw before. Like it's an idea. It's some of its ideas, like in how to represent stuff in the mind and whatnot. I feel like it's not a new idea. It's something I've seen before, and that kind of maybe I take it too much. But after watching it twice, that still doesn't go away. So I guess that's just how I feel.
well, it's based on
But
emotional theory
you know.
of, well, the six basic senses, but one was left out, which was it surprise was left out for just too many characters.
Yeah, I don't know how they would have done that.
Yeah, they had fear already, so
Yeah, but I mean, some people
Yeah.
argue that surprise and fear are basically the same thing, almost. It's like it's like your
essentially.
awareness of some inherent danger or inherent pleasantness.
You could say that surprise is a combination of fear and one of
Enjoy,
the other
you mean?
ones. Well, it could be a bad surprise.
Fear.
I don't know. Well, no, it could be like fear and anger. Like, surprise, I broke your car. I don't know.
Not really, but I think that film's message was pretty great, and I felt the sentimental moments where Joy finally realized that Riley needed sadness and that being happy all the time isn't always a good thing.
What was the name of the imaginary
I forgot.
friend?
The
the weird elephant thing.
pink elephant.
It started with a B.
Nope.
Buchowski.
I know it started with a B. No. That was the best character.
Of course, you would think that.
Well, of course you would.
Wasn't he? What was he voiced by Weird Al or something?
No,
He's the kind of character that would have been voiced by Weird Al.
he kind of is actually.
Adam, it's for
no, I
context.
thought he
Everyone
was,
who's
like, the
listening,
most
Adam
interesting.
loves Weird Al.
I like him. He's funny.
I'm just letting everyone know that you love Weird Al, so they understand.
He's a funny guy.
Oh yeah, Inside Out. It's definitely good. Definitely good. I don't. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd consider it great, but
I feel like it has its flaws. I feel like a lot of the side characters just never sparked for me,
No,
and
it was
especially in
only
the
two of
human
them.
world. And yes, yeah, exactly, or three. But like the human characters, I just never really cared for their plight, and maybe that's because it's because in her head it's supposed to be made up of all those different emotions, but that doesn't really connect right for me. Like it doesn't stop the fact that Riley is a character doesn't feel like a character to me, and I get it because it's about the emotions in her head, but it just doesn't
no,
quite
yeah,
work there for
I'm
me.
actually in the same
Yeah,
feud
that was
with
an
you.
inherent confusion there because her emotions in her head are herself, but the emotions didn't play like they were helping Riley. Sort of. It was
Yeah,
really weird because they are
Riley
actually
felt a
Riley.
little hollow actually. To me, she felt a little hollow.
Because the emotions are actually
Hmm.
Riley, but they didn't make them out to be her instead of just helping her,
Yeah.
which is a bit
So the
weird.
duality between that was a little fuzzy, but I don't. It's hard to. I mean that it'd be very hard to try to balance that out. So I don't blame them or anything.
They had some good jokes, so the whole end segment was great.
About puberty?
No, after that, where they go into other
Oh,
people's
other
Oh, I
people's heads.
completely forgot
heads.
about that.
Yeah,
You
that
only
was a
like that
great
because there was that
segment.
one with the cat.
But it was so funny. The cat. Come on.
Now
So
the
cute.
dinner table scene was also funny, where they went to the parents' head, the mother's and the dad's head.
Mm. Good use of that repeating joke with the mother's head and that specific memory.
Adam wishes he was a Brazilian helicopter pilot
You
who
would.
flew
You know
over,
what?
like, flies over Rio de Janeiro every day or something like that.
What was it that he said
I
again?
don't know.
Fly with me, boy.
Something. I don't know. Brazil speaks Portuguese, not Spanish, so I don't know.
It's similar though. It's very similar.
But yeah,
Yeah. This
we've been
is
on for an hour. That's very long. We
this is
aren't
that part
talking
of the
about anime
podcast.
anymore, so
It's
because
still
we
it's
don't.
still
But
animated,
that's
so
what we
it's
prefer,
fine.
right?
It's still Inside Out is animated. 10 Cloverfield Lane wasn't, but
Oh, technically, it does have CGI,
CGI
so
animation. Yeah, you
you can
But
count
I mean,
Okay,
Hollywood
everyone.
CGI is on a whole nother level.
Gods of Egypt, right? Anyways,
Oh, jeez.
so I guess we're done. I've been RC Anime, who you can. I spoke way too fucking much this episode.
No, it's fine.
More so than
No, that's
normal.
good.
That's
That's
bad.
good.
I didn't let you guys talk at
Now you
all.
can take a break the
No, I
next one.
talked in
Yeah.
this one,
I talked enough. I didn't have
unlike
anything
in
else I
other
wanted to say.
podcasts.
You only have like 6 lines on Anifix.
It's fine, guys. I don't watch anime, but I watch the Boy and the Beast, so it's fine, and all
Yeah.
of Hosoda films.
Yeah, the last anime I saw was Cinderella Girls. How long ago was that? Anyways, yeah,
Oh,
I've been RC
I forgot
Anime.
about what we were supposed to talk about too. I guess we'll do it next time.
What?
I finished Ergo Proxy finally.
We
Nice.
talked about Ergo Proxy in the
I
last
love
two
how
episodes.
like we watch each other's anime a podcast after. Like that seems to happen.
Nah, Ergo Proxy's great.
It is-
Everyone should watch it. I'll say that.
It is
That's
great.
It.
But yeah, again, I'll go one last time. I've been RC Anime. With me today was Adam from Vadarf.
Hello. Goodbye.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why I
Okay.
said hello.
Kevin from Kevin Neon.
I don't watch anime, guys, because civil engineering. Nice. So we'll be back in another 4 months.
Yeah, and that's it. Someone say something funny.
I don't
or
understand
something.
why you need to learn physics for civil engineering, Kevin.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't understand?
Like quantum mechanics.
No,
like, I don't get quantum
Well, that
mechanics. in
was
civil
no, that
engineering.
was just a basic study on quantum mechanics. I'm not a physicist. Otherwise, I have to learn about quantum mechanics. Don't worry about that though. Learning engineering still need to learn physics, obviously.
So, Adam, what do you call a camel with three humps?
Pregnant?
How'd you know the joke?
I I don't get the joke. What the fuck's the punchline? How does that make sense? I don't understand. Someone, what the fuck is the joke?
Dots?
His worst film,
Nah.
but I enjoyed it. It has creativity to it. I don't think it's god awful or like bad.
I don't think it's
kind of
No, it's not bad.
You
I don't
can
even.
consider
No,
it bad
it's
at some
definite. It's
points.
not. It's not. I don't think it's god awful.
I don't even think it's
Like,
bad.
what is God? No, it's bad.
Nah.
It's the first movie ever to have made me want to leave a movie theater halfway.
What did you do? What did the film do?
It was so boring. It was just really boring because
It's kind of a mess as well.
it's not just a mess. It's not even its predictability. Because I never really have a problem for something being predictable.
all
exactly.
of
I just
all of
don't-
Hosoda's films are basically you can predict them at the end.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just the fact that it takes so many things that have been done before in adventure films that you know focus around our world and a sort of parallel fantasy world. And it doesn't do anything new with the features. It doesn't have to do anything new with the features as long as it's fun, but it's not even fun. It's not entertaining at all. At least I didn't really it I
またまたまたあなたに言えない気持ちが溢れそうでわたわたわたわた頭はくるくるくるくるあなたの笑顔が
Adam, what do you call a three-hump camel?
I don't know, Matt. What do you?
Pregnant? Oh,
What the fuck? What? What just happened?
hey guys, RC Anime here. With me today is Adam from Vadar
I'm sorry, still laughing for that amazing joke.
and Kevin from Kevin the Ya. And today we are here. Oh, I didn't even let you speak, Kevin.
Fuck you, just go.
You're not supposed to.
I'm so inexperienced with this at this point. When was the last time we did this? Anyways, this time we'll be talking about The Boy and the Beast.
No, so does films. God damn, just go in order.
And what is The Boy and the Beast? It's in Hosoda film, so
Yeah.
I wasn't incorrect when I said The Boy and the Beast because that's what we're mainly going to focus on. But yeah, not a very good film. Hosoda's worst film, actually. It wants to give out too many emotions at once, and
Wait, emotions.
in the end,
What?
doesn't really.
I don't.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it
wants
was
to make
giving
you
out
feel
emotions. It was mostly
I mean,
like a slice of life.
it certainly wants to be thrilling at certain points. It wants to be sentimental at other points. It wants to be exciting. There's this duality of family that it tries to talk about at certain points, but it never really gives that subplot enough time. It never really gives the subplot of the antagonist enough time.
No, that
it never
was-
really gives the
that
subplot
was
of
just
the
forced out there.
little kind of subtle romance
It
enough
has
time.
way too many ideas and things it wants to do going on, and it can't really juggle them all precisely well enough to fit all together.
Yeah. I mean, I've been going on for a long time. For some reason, you guys talk.
Kevin, your thoughts?
The whole, basically up until the tournament at the end, I thought the film was fine because it was just about how the main character and the beast he was meant to be his adopting father, but the beast was also like mad inexperienced. They were basically the same, and
Me? Kind of fall flat or just be too like, oh, let's make it for little kids who are like, they don't understand much, so we should make comedy for them that's like stupid, yeah.
it is for kids still. What?
But that's not an excuse because I've seen comedy done for kids that is actually really good comedy. It doesn't treat the kids like kids, it treats them like adults, it treats them like smart individuals, and even adults can watch that and laugh. This wasn't really that movie. This movie felt more like, to me, like the Cars 2 of anime, sort of.
I don't know what car. I haven't seen Cars 2. Don't think I should.
A good example for an animated film for children that's really funny and its comedy can really target anyone is Zootopia, if you guys have seen that.
Not yet.
Nope.
Have neither of you seen Zootopia? Go watch Zootopia.
know,
Why did you spend your time watching The Boy and the Beast? Oh, I want to talk about Zootopia right now.
Next time.
Podcast. Okay.
Next time.
Okay, so in The Boy and the Beast, the thing is that, yes, the film wants to be for children, but that doesn't mean that you have to
Speak down to them.
assume that children...
And the child was actually more mature than the beast itself, so they were actually helping each other learn in that same way. And also I found it actually to be funny at some points, most points in the film actually. But yeah, the film did at the end introduce a subplot that was only like really hinted upon about the darkness of a human mind at the end, and then
Which is, like,
the
fucking
antagonist at the
bullshit.
end, it was just like so random. Like,
I have no idea if they're trying to like steal Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness book or something. No, but they stole the themes from Moby Dick.
I mean, Matt, it did say
God,
the book
that
itself
whale.
was right there, Moby Dick.
That whale, though, it still bugs me.
I just think it's hilarious
Why-
how they
why-
spoil Moby
by
Dick
the way,
in that movie.
why
and they
did he,
just
like-
use all of its themes?
Why
in
did he?
the end.
Why did the guy turn into a whale? By the way, he
Because
Because he
didn't.
read the book.
he didn't read the
He
book.
read-
He saw the
He
title.
didn't even read. He just skimmed through.
Yeah,
it.
he saw the title Moby Dick, and it's like, I'll just throw this
He
book away and
he
turn
read
it
He
the
into a
opened
one
it.
whale.
word. He said the one word,
He-
right? Whale. And that was it.
Man, nothing in that movie worked for me.
Nah.
It was a lot
Don't-
of a mess, really.
just-
A lot
I
of the
thought it was-
comedy, too, that you mentioned, Kevin, liking or laughing at, I actually found most of the comedy from